Hello, I am John Carl Joseph Unicomaseno, and today I will be doing the demonstration for assessing the abdomen. So the first step is to identify your patient with the two patient identifiers, their name and their birth of date. So sir, good morning. I am John Carl Joseph Unicomaseno, your responsible nurse for today, and may I ask for your name and date of birth?
So my name is James Torres, and I was born on July 25th.
Thank you. And then after that is to explain to them the procedure or the purpose of the abdomen examination, as well as answer any questions. So sir, the purpose of this abdomen examination is to detect any abnormalities or challenges within your abdomen or your internal organs, as well as to prevent them from worsening. So sir, do you have any questions? Okay, thank you. And then after that, we will be performing hand hygiene. So this is to ensure or to reduce the risk of infections and contaminations. After that, we will going to assist the patient in undressing if needed, as well as assess them to a supine position, and then expose their abdomen. Thank you. And then we will now proceed to the assessment of the abdomen. So the first thing is to inspect the abdomen for its contour, skin color, the umbilicus, or any other skin or surface characteristics such as masses, lesions, rashes, and any other abnormalities. So I do not see any signs of discoloration from the patient, so it is perfectly normal. So after that, we will need to auscultate. So in auscultating, first we will ensure that our hands are warm, as well as the chest piece. We need to ensure that it is warm so that it will be comfortable for the patient. So we will now proceed to auscultating the four abdominal regions for their bowel sounds, and then we need to do it systematically. So first thing is to we will first auscultate the lower left region and then proceed to a clockwise motion. So we will be needing to use the diaphragm of the chest piece. So this is important to identify if the patient's bowel sounds is normal or if it is absent. So the normal sound for this is that there is a 5 to 30 bowel sounds within a minute. So if it is absent, it could indicate peritonitis, and if it is hypoactive, or if it is only one bowel sound for 3 to 5 minutes, it could indicate constipation. And if it is hyperactive or more than 30 bowel sounds within a minute, it could indicate diarrhea. So after assessing or auscultating the bowel sounds, we will now move on to auscultating the vascular sounds using the systematic method as well. So first we will need to do it in the aortic region, and then the hepatic, and then the splenic, and then the renal, and then the iliac. So we will be needing to use the bell of the chest piece. So this step will help us identify or detect any bruise. So there should be no bruise in a normal or healthy patient. If there is a presence of bruise, it could indicate aortic aneurysm or renal artery stenosis. And then we will now proceed to the percussion for the 4 tones. So we need to do it in a systematic manner. So first, we're going to do it here. And then here. So this is important to detect any presence of fluids, masses, or air or any foreign objects within the abdomen or the internal organs. And then after that, we will proceed to palpating. So first, we will need to lightly palpate the abdomen, the 4 regions, and then proceed to deeply palpating it. But before we start, we will need to ask the patient if they have any pain or discomfort within any particular region of the abdomen so that we can palpate that area last. So, sir, do you feel any pain or discomfort in your abdomen? Okay, so since our patient is perfectly fine and not feeling any discomfort, we will now begin the palpation. So, we will start again from this area, the left lower region. And then clockwise manner. So this can detect any masses or any body masses or any abnormalities or the skin tenderness of our patient. And then now we will proceed to deep palpation. So this is important to identify or assess any abnormal growth or the size of the organs. So after that, we will need to palpate the kidneys. So in palpating the kidneys, we will need to put one hand at the back of our patient. So sir, can I put my hand here? And then your other hand in here. So we need to palpate it. Okay. And then after that, we will need to palpate the liver. So in palpating the liver, we will need to put our hand at or under the rib cage of our patient and ask them to breathe deeply. So sir, can I take it here? Can you breathe deeply, sir? Inhale, exhale. Okay. And then after that, the kidneys, or I mean the spleen. So we will need to do it in the mid-axillary lines here at the patient's left side. So you can do it like the motion you do for palpating, but under the rib cage. So sir, can you inhale? Exhale. Thank you. After that, we will be assessing for the rebound tenderness. So in assessing the rebound tenderness, we will need to put our hands deeply but gently on the patient's abdomen and ensure that it is pointing downwards. And then after that, we will ask the patient if they feel any pain. So we'll do it in here. feel any pain. Thank you. So this is important to identify any or the sign of appendicitis particularly, because in the appendix is at the right lower quadrant of the abdomen, and if we push the left lower quadrant of the abdomen, it could touch or distract the appendix, and if the patient feels any pain, it could be a sign of appendicitis. And then after that, we will be moving on to palpating and auscultating the femoral vein or femoral artery. So, sir, can I palpate your femoral artery? Okay. So, it is recommended to do both sides simultaneously so that we can check for the rhythm or the symmetry of the pulses. Here. Okay, and then we will auscultate using our bell. So there shouldn't be any signs of bruits, and this would indicate if there is a bruit, it could indicate aortic aneurysm or renal artery stenosis. So after that, we are done with assessing the abdomen. We can assist the patient in their position, in a comfortable position. Can you? And then I will perform hand hygiene. Next is to document the whole procedure and record the findings. So that is all. Thank you.